Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at the new Hornero from TOPS Knives. Really cool little EDC knife. Just got this. Let's take it down to the top of this big old rock over here, walk through the details, give you some thoughts on it, and then we're going to put this thing through the paces. All right, once again, this is the Hornero from TOPS Knives, 7.3 inches from end to end. You have a 3-inch blade, so you have a 4.3-inch handle, 0.19 inches thick. As is true for a lot of TOPS knives, this is going to be 1095 high carbon steel with a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58. The weight by itself, 5.3 ounces, and the weight with the sheath is 6.8 ounces. As you can see, we have my micarta handles, a nice combination of this black and tan. And it's kind of like a black and brownish tan, not just like a straight up desert tan, but very cool looking. You do have a lanyard hole there. It does come with the lanyard actually attached. A couple of the features that jump out to me. So very comfortable in hand. Your thumb wants to fall right there as soon as you pick it up. So really good control just for those push cuts. You can also hold it like this as well for more of that detail work with the tip of the blade. Here's a look at the knife in the sheath. It is a Kydex sheath, nice solid click in. You do have some attachment points here. On the back, you can see you've got basically a piece of Kydex so that you're gonna run your belt through that. So let me show you what that looks like real quick. All right, as the sunlight cuts through right to here to shine on this, oh, it's like The Simpsons. And yeah, that's what it looks like on my belt. So to take it out, just gonna draw the knife out like so, and then slide it back in like that. This is a normal belt, about 1 inch across, maybe a little bit more. So this does have a little bit of movement. You could fit a slightly thicker belt through the loop if you wanted to. And obviously it's gonna move back and forth between your belt loops on your jeans or your pants. You can also cover it up pretty easily. You can just see barely a little bit of print there and a little bit sticking out. But in general, that thing's covered up by my sweatshirt. And again, that's what it looks like to take it out of the sheath. All right, so I'm out in the woods here, as you can see. A couple initial thoughts on the Hornero. First off, when I saw this, I thought it was actually a folding knife, and I was like, whoa, TOPS, another folding knife. It's pretty rare for them. They do so many fixed blades, so I wanted to check it out. When I learned it was a fixed blade, though, I was like, still pretty slick looking. So I like the way it looks. This is one of the earliest, one of the first runs of these knives. You can see I've got Z120 right there, right about there. So you can tell it's one of the earlier ones. Look at the contour of that handle when you grab a hold of it like this. I mean, your first 2 fingers basically just fall nicely right there, which makes your thumb want to fall right there. I thought at first this was actually not coated with their traction coating, so I thought maybe it's for scraping or sparking a fire steel. But because it is coated with the traction coating and the way it's built, your thumb just is like boom, falls right there. So when I have that locked in like that, man, immediately I feel no hot spots, no tension. Obviously I'll use it in a minute to show you what it's like in use, but yeah, it just feels like I'm really gonna have good control as I do those push cuts. Again, you can hold it like this, choke up even more if you want to do more detail work. I do like the lanyard, maybe throw a little something extra on that for a little extra flair. The micarta is nice, full tang as you can see. Yeah, just like a simple knife. I love combination systems. I have the Nata, N-A-T-A, from TOPS, which I love as a chopping tool, and it's just a general use tool out in the woods. I like I think it's called the bull trail as far as the look, but the jimping is too aggressive for me. I want something with a little bit less aggressive jimping, and so this one gives me that option to combine with the chopping tool and those 2 things together. I feel like they could be a really nice system. And TOPS has a lot of those larger knives and smaller knives, so you can build your own system. But anyhow, here's a quick look at it. Let me just give you a close-up. Comes razor sharp, as is true with all my TOPS knives. So that's a quick rundown on the details. Our next step is to show you some usage of this knife on camera, and then I'm going to use it off camera as well, just to give some longer term usage to it and get some more experience with it. And then I'll report in the same video, obviously, what I think about the TOPS Hornero. All right, guys, we're back here wrapping up talking about the TOPS Hornero. So a couple things. There is no place I have found yet that you can strike a fire seal in this. Obviously the blade, yes. But like I thought at first maybe this little cutout you could use, but no dice, the spine, there's nothing really sharp enough to do it. So just a heads up on that. I will tell you that this is an awesome knife for carving, notching. The reasons, I think, couple things. First, just the grip, the handle's nice. That divot where you can rest your thumb to really crank down on stuff. And then really, it's about the thickness of the tip of the blade. So take something like an Opinel, right? Like razor sharp, you can really carve feather sticks with that thing. But because the blade is so thin, you gotta be careful if you're trying to like pop out little pieces of wood and stuff like that. This thing, I was getting in there and I was, doing cuts with just like the tip of the knife like this. And because it's stout and yet it comes to that point, it's really, effective for notching. I mean, feather sticks, yeah, but like notching, carving, making figure fours, different things like that. I mean, you saw some of what I did on work. I did additional stuff, some of what I did on camera, I should say. I did additional stuff off camera, and it's just a bear. It just works really nicely. So at the time of this video right now, we're looking at about 95 bucks. I think it's $94.50 over at Knife Connection. It's pretty new to the market, so I haven't seen a ton of people talk about it, but I do like this thing a lot. It's definitely competing with like an ESEE Izula, which I realize for some people are gonna be like, what? But it does, it's done a great job. It's a little bit more expensive. I think it's a little bit more stout just in general. Definitely a different blade profile. The ESEE Izula is wider. And I think probably maybe a little bit thinner if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, if you like the Izula but you want to try something different, or you were looking at Izula but you want something from TOPS, the Hornero has definitely functioned really nicely for me. Sheath, super basic, does the job. Again, that's what that looks like. There's your loop on the back. Locked in nice and solid. The lanyard, it came with that. I haven't really used it a lot. You can like run your, and this is how it came, like with these particular knots, you can run your hand through it if you want to, have a little bit more control. But because I'm not like, I mean, I guess you could chop like this if you wanted to. The other thing is that I didn't do any batoning with this on screen, on video, because like it's just not a knife for that. I mean, you could baton tiny little twigs if you wanted to, but little EDC tasks, I think it's gonna be great. Just general cutting, slicing, if you want to carry a fixed blade. And then, like I said, for bushcraft and, working on survival skills, cutting, notching, getting those little divots in pieces of wood, this thing has been really great. Some people are gonna like the two-tone there, some people are not. I think it looks cool. That's fine with me. If it was all gray or all black or all brown, I'd be fine with that as well. I don't know if I mentioned this before too, but there's some sort of like, looks like sort of reddish liners. They're a little bit reddish brown there, but anyhow, it's been a fun knife to use. I've really liked it, and again, like a notching beast is what I'd say about the Hornero. So let me hear your thoughts and your feedback both from this video, and if you have one, if you've borrowed one, if you've seen other videos, what are your thoughts about the TOPS Hornero as like an EDC knife, and then also as just a compact outdoor knife. One thing I do want to say is it's not going to be a knife that you're going to use for tons of food prep, just by the nature of how short the blade is, and then it's a little bit thick, and so you're slicing some pepperoni, whatever, you can do that, but I'm not going to be slicing and dicing tomatoes and stuff with this. But other than that, this thing has been awesome. So TOPS Hornero, let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get that conversation started now. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.